Thomas, where would you like us?
Whatever.
Is there a sitting situation or wherever you want, guys?
Fran wants a cushion.
Wait. I hope the first question is from any particular order.
Just sit down, whatever you want.
What is this for? I'll sit down here. I know who's going to do the talking next to me. See here.
Tyrell. I've never been at a press.
Just in case you want to hear yourself.
First question is going to be from this person. It's going to be from Roy too.
What is your combination of drink, China?
It tastes quite nice, huh? I don't laugh like that. Tommy.
Okay, I think we're all here. Delighted to
Tommy.
Yesterday on Sparrow 17.
Okay, guys, thank you. Delighted to be joined by the winning European team.
Yes, baby. That is us.
Thomas, throughout your captaincy, you've said one team, one continent. Tonight you stand victorious and united here on the top table. Just give us your thoughts on today's outcome.
How do you sum that up? I felt all along that this was a good group of guys, but I have to say when we got here on Monday and we got together, this turned out pretty exciting, because the way the 12 of them have just joined up together as a team, and the way they looked after each other and been there for each other throughout the whole week made captaincy pretty easy. And the hardest thing about the captaincy, I think, this week was that there was so many guys playing well and being in such good a frame of mind that I didn't really, I wanted to get everybody on the golf course, and you can't. And today's performance, there was a little moment there in the middle of it all where I was getting a little bit worried, but then everybody stood up and did their bit, and I can't describe how I feel about these 12. They've been amazing from day one, and I'm just so proud of them.
Thank you, Thomas. Francesco, just quick comment from you. 5 from 5, first European player to do that, and to hold the winning putt, or get the winning point rather as well. As far as the Ryder Cup weeks go, that's not a bad one, eh?
Come on, Francesco, smile.
I'm just so proud of every one of these guys. You can't even imagine. Every single one. You could see on Monday when we got together, it wasn't ending up any other way. So I've been part of another 2 winning teams where I didn't bring full points. And I'm glad, after being carried on the shoulders by some of these guys, to give something back. But it's about every one of these guys, the vice captains. It's just the best team I've ever been a part of by miles.
And Thomas, I think that's underlined by the fact that every single person on here contributed at least a point.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often, and the whole team has been part of this, and I think it's very easy to sum it up. Some play 5 matches and some play 2 matches, but they all contribute. And when you sit in this situation at the end of it, I've played in my Ryder Cups, and I don't care how many matches I play in, as long as we win. And I think that's what it's all about. And I think we all feel that way now, that we got it right this week. We worked as a team, and we knew we were up against very strong opponents, but we went out on the golf course and believed in ourselves and what we stand for as a team. We never ever looked towards their team about what they were about. We were about us as a team and what we do. And this this is the best team room I've ever been in. You know, it was calm, it was determined, it was focused, it was fun. Everything that this Ryder Cup is what I think the Ryder Cup should be about for a European team.
Nice words, Thomas. Thank you very much. We're going to open up for some questions. Start with Karen down on the left. On mic 3, please.
This is a question for Rory. You spoke outside about how well connected everyone was to one another and how that created lots of options for pairings. What are the qualities that allowed that to happen? What is it about all of the people up there that created that situation, that also the qualities Thomas was talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I think, as Thomas just said, the togetherness in the team room all week. You know, we've all had this WhatsApp group going for a while, which has sort of been just one big love-in. So
we even managed to get Rory in WhatsApp.
Yeah, I wasn't on WhatsApp before this week.
Tommy Fleetwood scored 4 points on the WhatsApp group too.
So, you know, that was a big part of it. Just we all get along so well. Torbjorn was a little late to the party. He didn't sort of chime. Yeah, the mute. He didn't chime in for a while, but
he arrived
just like today.
He certainly arrived on Sunday. But I think, you know, there's just something about this group of guys. I think, you know, for example, Ian and I sort of got word on sort of Wednesday night, Thursday morning that we were going to play foursomes together. But we've played together before and we've been successful. Ian's been successful and I've watched. But I just think we all get along so well. We've known each other for a long time, and there's a continuity in our group that maybe the other side don't quite have, just because of the new, you know, the rookies coming in and the new guys. But even the rookies in our team, we've all known for a long time. I first played with Torbjorn in the Egyptian Open in 2010. You know, I played with I did. You know, so we've all known each other for a long, long time, and we get along well. And I think collectively we all have one question: where's Alan Shipnuck? There we go.
Tell you what,
this one's for you.
A hell of a predictor you are.
But no, I think just the togetherness of the team, the great camaraderie we have, you know, that's built up on the European tour, and obviously we all have our separate lives going on. But once we get together for the Ryder Cup, we all come together as one, and you know, it was just such a good week.
We'll go to the right-hand side, microphone 1, please. Thank you, Ewan.
Thomas, congratulations. I know you said you didn't look at the other team, but there was so much made before this Ryder Cup of how strong the American team was, one of the strongest teams ever put together, etc. Now that you guys you've not only beaten them, but actually beaten them pretty convincingly score-wise, how good does that make this European team in Ryder Cup context?
It's up there, I have to say. But that's down to the players in the team. It's down to what they are as their personalities and what they want to achieve. You know, it's no secret that we get together about this, and we always have done. And you know, we went through a transition last time in you know, in the team, and sometimes you go through that, and that becomes difficult, and especially when you go away. This team was. It's just a very, very solid team, and all of these guys that are here, you know, they're quality golfers. Some of them are putting their stamp on the world scene, and there's a couple in this team that are on their way to right to the top of the game over the next few years, and there will be massive parts of these European teams in the future. It's a great group. It's a group that believes in themselves and what they stand for, and they carry the torch on for what European Ryder Cup teams is all about. And they understand the history, they understand what we're about, and that's what will do them great going forward.
Microphone 2 in the middle, please.
Yeah, Thomas, I've been asking you about the Spanish passion for a year now, so this is a question for you, for anybody who wants to comment. How much was that a factor this week? And for Sergio and John, how much did you spend watching each other play this week and spending time together?
He wasn't a bad pick, was he?
Yeah. The 4 picks weren't bad.
Listen,
I promise you 3. I got you 3.
You got 3 out of 4.
I think Sergio's Ryder Cup story tells its own. You know, it's a whole thing of its own, and it's a brilliant story. It's a fantastic achievement. He is very much at the center of what we do, and I've been saying this all the time. He walks into the room. He is right in the middle of everything, and you know, you got to have great people that look at the team from the outside, but you also got to have great people from the inside, and he's one of them. But all of these people understand each other. All of these guys can push each other forward. But Sergio's done amazing, and for John to go out in his first Ryder Cup single and beat Tiger Woods, you know, that's a pretty cool thing that you'll have for the rest of your life, and that's something that he will carry in his career, knowing that on the biggest stage against the best player that's ever played, I can stand up and do great things.
John, do you want to go? Some comments about...
Well, what he asked?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, every time Sergio was in the course, obviously I was watching. I mean, I grew up watching him play golf. You know, I grew up glued to the TV watching him do great things in the Ryder Cup and watching him do great things in golf in general, so... So old. I mean, you can cry as much as you want, but it's still true. So, you know, just to be, even before the tournament, standing on the same room as him on the same team, it was a dream come true. And just to keep watching, and, you know, once I went over with that match, watch him make history, Ryder Cup history, it was a true honor. So I think I speak on behalf of everybody that I think it's a true honor to be here witnessing Ryder Cup history.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, obviously, it was a pleasure to be with every single one of these players. But obviously, with John being Spaniard and you know being the present and future of Spain, it means so much. And you know, we played I think 1 practice round together this week, but I know that you know he was fighting hard, and I got a little bit unfortunate the first couple of days, and wasn't able to get any points. And I knew he wanted to bring his passion and at least a point to the team. And we talked about it last night, and I told him what I thought. You know, I told him what I thought of him. I told him, you know, what I thought he was going to do, and to just believe and show everybody how good he is, and he did. You know, it's as simple as that. He's a wonderful player. He was a great team player, and you know, it's just another piece of the puzzle that helped all of us.
Go to microphone 3, Mark down the front, please.
Thomas, when you were making the captain's picks, obviously you got to leave people off, and there was a handful of guys who were having pretty good years that you left off, and you went with the experience with these guys. Can you speak to how much of a difference your captain's picks made in these matches?
Well, I'm not very good at adding up, but I'm sure if I put these numbers together, they make the difference in the score. I think I got it right, and so, you know, they've been fantastic. They bring more than they do what I couldn't have dreamt of what they brought on the golf course. They've been fantastic this week on the golf course, but in the team room, you know, they bring the experience, they bring the understanding. It's those guys that last night sit and make sure that everybody's in the right frame of mind and they're ready to go out and play because they've done it so many times before. I think it takes to play in the Ryder Cup and be in a lot of team rooms and to understand what it's all about. And sometimes when you have some great new guys coming through, where you've got to balance it out with the experience. It worked well for us this week. It really has. And you know, when you take on the captaincy, you can never dream of a scoreline like this. You know, you know it's going to be close, but you can't dream of a scoreline like this. And that's obviously down to all 12 players, but I'm extremely proud of those 4 guys that got picked, because it's by no means easy to be picked. You know, there's pressure on you if you've got to be picked, and they stood up, all of them this week, and showed what they're worth. And, you know, from Sergio and Ian that are such the heartbeat of what we do. Henrik that brings all the calmness, and then Paul. We can only say welcome back.
I believe we have a question from Alan on number 2.
Francesco. A serious question for Francesco. I know it's exciting to clinch the Ryder Cup, but to see a proud champion like Phil end it by hitting in the water, is that a little painful as a fellow competitor?
What was your quote 2 weeks ago?
Why painful now?
No.
Still 5-0. The guys. This could be his last. That could be the last shot he ever hits in a Ryder Cup. He's been doing it for a quarter century.
Okay, no. Well, obviously Phil is a class act, and he fought hard all match today. Obviously, he probably didn't have his A game this week, but he fought hard, and we obviously you hope, you wish, to finish the Ryder Cup holding a putt and making a birdie or stuff like that, but it happens to all of us, and I'm sure it's not going to affect, the other stuff that Phil has done in his career. He's an amazing player, and it's one shot, so it doesn't change anything.
Well said.
Got a question on microphone 1, right in the middle of that row, please. Yeah.
Francesco, you're the first European to win all 5 of your matches at a Ryder Cup.
Go on, Fran.
Come on, Frankie.
Molly.
I'm so good at this stuff that they just want to see me laughing.
Can you just?
His name is not Molinari anymore. It's Machinari because he's a machine.
I thought it was Mollywood. No.
Well, that was the comment.
That's something else.
Sorry.
That's all right. Can you just talk us through what that means to you? How much it's taken out of you to play in all those games, and you've become a bit of a folk hero as well. But also, Ian, can you tell us what have you done with the post box outfit? Is it going back with you? Maybe wear it alone at home while doing the housework or something.
I might go and deliver some letters around Lake Nona in it when I get home. I'm going to frame it.
How do you frame that?
How do you
just false frames everything.
If I put in a big
Francesco, can you talk us through just your weekend? It's been amazing, and the summer as well.
But before that, why don't you ask Francesco how are 17 and 18 playing?
What?
This golf course has 18 holes.
Really? I think I played them on Tuesday. No?
Thank God we play 18 that day.
Sorry, what was the question?
How are 17 and 18 playing? You've become a folk hero in summer. You won the Open, but also you've won all 5 points here. But the fans have really taken you to their hearts. You've become a cult hero, really, as well. Just talk us about everything to do with your summer and this weekend in particular.
No, my summer has been great, but it's about, like I said before, about these guys.
Are you sure?
I've been on 2 winning teams, doing a little bit, but not a lot, and my record was pretty shocking, really, coming into this week. So statistically, there was a good chance of winning some points, and
so arrogant. Get over yourself.
What's it taken out of you? How much has it taken out of you to play in all those 5 matches?
Well, talk for yourself.
He's played less hole than anyone else. He's played 5 matches.
It's been intense, but the adrenaline is so much, obviously, that you could keep going. Today it was hard. There were many energies, but like I said, it's not about individuals. It's about the other guys on the team and the atmosphere that we created getting here on Monday. I honestly don't feel any difference bringing 5 points or 1 point or half a point like I did in Wales or in Medina. I said it yesterday when they were asking me and Tommy about winning 4 out of 4. It doesn't mean anything if you don't win the cup. So that's what this team is about, and I think honestly that's what makes the difference in the end of the week.
Microphone 3 on the left-hand side, John.
There's a question for Ian and Justin, please. You've both been around in lots of teams. Could you just identify the thing that you think Thomas did perhaps better than anything else? You've seen that you've had a lot of captains.
Yeah, I've played a few now. So, Thomas has been extremely calm all week. He's allowed...
Hope you took note of that.
Unlike his playing career.
He's allowed us all to be very relaxed, very chilled in the team room, and he understands every player on a personal level and professionally as well. So to be able to have that level of calmness in the team room, I think this week showed through. We had an extra bit of motivation this week as well, which...
Yes, bring it.
Which you might all see. I don't know when he's going to get it done, but we had some extra motivation this week to make sure we put our hands back on that trophy. As little or big as that number's going to be, it will be a very interesting number to see.
Cracking on.
Justin?
So, I guess just bringing it back slightly more serious, I think that...
What?
Why? Was it a number or was it a image?
Score. Number.
Score. Okay, cool.
We still have to work the initials of the players.
I think we might be talking about a tat, just to keep everyone in the loop.
Could be a visit to a tattoo parlor coming very soon for Mr. Bjorn.
On his head.
There's plenty of
like his head. You can get
plenty of real estate there, so yeah, maybe.
You get 3 guesses. One wrong.
I think what Thomas did, and I think what the backroom staff did for the team, and what you don't see along this line right now, you see a bunch of guys who are elated, you see a bunch of guys enjoying the situation, you see a bunch of guys having a couple of drinks to celebrate. What this team did was not drop their guard until this moment right here. This team was relentless in its pursuit of excellence. We ticked every single box that we could control week in, week out, all week long, whether it be recovery, nutrition, practice rounds. Our focus was unbelievable this week as a collective group, and that's what Thomas brought to the situation. He didn't fill the week with pointless team meetings. He trusted us to be 12 players that would come together, and today trusted us to be 12 individuals. Like Rory said, he sent a great message earlier, but 12 individuals working towards the same common goal. And that was his strength this week. And I think that we didn't drop our guard all week long. We stayed on point as a group, and everybody, the discipline that we showed got us to this point where we can now let our hair down and now really drop our guard hard.
Yeah, Thomas's team, you don't see... which are the ones that really help us. The backroom staff, the vice captains, the chefs, the nutritionalists, the
physios.
Team physios. The list goes on, and you only see 12 of us sitting here right now. 5 vices, the wives, but the caddies. We can go on and on, but Thomas has pulled his team together, and I'm not including us 12 as the team, but the entire team behind the scenes to make all this work, and that's what's been very, very impressive.
Thomas, if I could just get you to follow on from that as well. We've got the vice captains in the room with us, just the role of the backroom team.
I mean, when you start out on this journey, you look at the things that you can do differently, and the modern golfer is a different guy today. They're very healthy. They're very focused on how they recover, how they look after themselves, and it's such a big part of their lives. And they're also used to having a big group of people around them. So I felt like I needed to do the things that were for the players. When you go back over the years, the European team room has changed. I wanted to do this for them. I wanted it to be those 12 players that they felt like they walked into an environment that they could recognize, and that was better than better or on par with the environment that they normally work in. So a lot of that work was what we wanted to do. I brought in some very good people, and I'm so thankful to those people that have worked so hard and so many hours to make this happen for these 12 guys. And as you know, vice captains, you couldn't have a stronger and better group of guys. You know, I got all the information. They've been brilliant. So, where are they?
This would just give you the finger. Come on.
Yeah, it's you know, and for guys, I've been there myself. You know, for a lot of these guys, it's a new step in their careers. You know, and it's not always a pleasant step to take when you go from a player to doing something else. But you know, it shows what we're all about on this side of the Atlantic. We get together and we do this for these 12 guys and give them the experiences we had. So I'm proud of everyone that's been involved in this team process.
Okay, Thomas, time for a couple more questions. Microphone one down the front.
Yes, for Francesco, first of all, congratulations.
Yes.
Also, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
You've seen a lot of Mr. Woods and company. You and Tommy had lots of activity there. How would you compare this with what you played against him in Medina? And how does this all stack up in this big picture for you?
I don't know. It's hard to compare with Medina. I think he obviously came here after a great win last week. Maybe that took something out of him, but he was still hitting great shots, and he's a really tough competitor, obviously. So, you know, we've done great with Tommy. Tommy's been amazing, and I love him, like I said the other day. So we need to spend more time together, I feel.
This is so far away.
I'm sure Europe agrees with you on that one.
What?
I feel so far away.
I know. Got a question two in the middle there, please.
Thomas, just a question for me. How big does this tattoo have to be, please? And does that have any influence about where it will go on your body, please?
As big as possible.
As big as it can.
It's a huge part of his body.
Well, let me put it this way. It's going to go on a part that only Grace will see.
Well, I hope we... Well, never mind.
I might have to send them a picture, then you'll all see it as well, I guess. But, yeah. The worst decision I made all week.
No, it was the best. It was clearly the best. I mean, there was something to fight for. Extra.
Well, on that note, Thomas, thank you very much for joining us, Team Europe. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alan.
No hard feelings, huh?
Yeah. Hey, Aaron, have a great trip home, huh?
Yeah, cheers, Rory. It's a long way to San Francisco.
Guys. Sometimes you pick the wrong team.
Interview me on Sky. And how do you feel about coming up against Luca? I will deliver my